What's up guys, welcome back to another video and welcome back to F1 24 Driver Career Mode. Of course, the Williams Career Mode is here and we're 70 rated and we're here for the Austrian Grand Prix this weekend.
Right, I'm afraid to say that we've had a major issue on the production.
An upgrade does not come in onto the car and we're going straight into the race weekend with not enough R&D points to do any upgrades so far. And of course, Austria being the first sprint race on our calendar. Of course, only 16 race calendar as, So yeah, sprint race, and it looks like rain as well is on the way for this weekend in the sprint race and qualifying. After practice, we got 300 resource points, and that makes 653 total resource points for us to spend later. We're up to 60 rated experience, almost up to 61, and our overall stays at 70 after practice. Moving on then to spending our 600 resource points, we're looking at the chassis department. The upgrade that just failed, it's going to be on for not next race weekend, so we decide against it. Or do we? No, we don't, because we are going to put that on, and it will not be on for next race, but the one after.
Now high up in the mountains here at Spielberg, it's time for qualifying on what will be the fastest laps of the season. Stand by for qualifying at the Austrian Grand Prix.
But first, it is the sprint race, and it looks like it's going to be torrential downpour for the start of it, and it looks like it's going to get sunny towards the end of the sprint race. So, without further ado, let's get straight into and see the conditions for this.
It's wet here today, and we're expecting those downpours to continue. This will make for a difficult sprint for all the teams. It's a short lap here in Spielberg with just 10 corners, 7 to the right and 3 to the left, making up the total distance of 2.6 miles. And expect to see a lot of cars running wide today, especially through the last corner, as the wet conditions make the cars skittish through the downhill sections. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's sprint. World champion Max Verstappen starts from pole position, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Norris, Leclerc, Fernando Alonso, Perez, Sainz, Russell, Albon, Oscar Piastri, Gasly, Stroll, Ocon, Ricciardo, Tsunoda, Magnussen, Hülkenberg, Joe, Bottas, and the rookie. Which of these drivers will get pole position today? We'll soon find out. Well, it's been a long time since I last worked with you. Good to see you again today. Anthony Davidson. Well, they say that a change is as good as a rest, and whilst there's not much rest on show in the sprint format today, there's definitely a change to what we're usually seeing on the track. Now, sadly, look out for them last time. It was a bad race. Question is, though, can they recover today?
Yes, they can, Crofty. You've got to put it behind you. Whatever happened last time, I was always told as a driver, park it, forget about it. Obviously, feel the pain when it happens, but then you can't dwell on it and carry that through to the next race. So put it behind you and just crack on with this race coming your way now.
Now, I know this isn't where we wanted to start this race, but given we're back here at the back of the grid, it means there's an opportunity to move forward. I've seen you karting back in the day. Let's go do it again.
As, well, I'm already accepting fate, as this is probably not going to be the greatest race you've ever seen. But luckily, it's only the sprint race, so yeah. As we get ready for the formation lap, then everyone on the wet tyres, and we are alongside Bottas and Joe in front of us with torrential downpour. Well, set to finish soon, really, as I've got Inter set as the next tyre, as I think we probably will need those, not now, but probably soon, as well.
Okay, so let's go through all the gears.
Meant to be getting dry towards the end of this sprint race, as we line up then 0.3 meters, and it's to 5 red lights for a rain-soaked sprint race, and 5 lights are on, and it is lights out, and away we go. It's a very bad start for us, but we are just going to take it easy going into turn 1. Bottas and Joe trying to make moves into turn 1. We're just going to send it down the inside on the brakes with 3 wide with the kick Saubers, and also Hülkenberg on the outside. We make 2 moves on both kick Saubers, and now going down in towards turn 2. It looks like the Red Bull's got a big lead out front, but we're trying to get past Hülkenberg here as we go down the inside. He moves over towards us, but it's very slow going into turn 2, and we don't make the move. Hülkenberg goes off track, but that doesn't really matter, and he keeps his position. Going down then, and here is the race start replay. We're starting in 20th place, but it is Verstappen on pole position from Lewis Hamilton and Norris here then. As you can see, the torrential downpour that has occurred here in Austria, and it is a very slow start from everyone as predicted, but look at how much spray there is going down towards turn 1. It looks like Verstappen 3 wide in the background for the McLaren, Ferrari and Fernando Alonso. He looks like he's going to make the best of it all and get up into P3, and he has, but it's looking like Verstappen has got away very easily there at the start. Lap 4 then, going in towards turn 2, we're gaining time, but looking a lot less heavier, the rain now. Hülkenberg still in front of us. Is it time to change to the intermediate tyres as we look for an option to help us out of how bad the driving is? And yeah, so lap 4 getting better as we almost half spin the car, and lap 4 it is that we come in for the intermediate tyres then, as we don't think that the full wet tyres are going to cut it. Yellow flag on the main straight though, and what's happening there as we come into the pits, pit limiter on, and it's Sergio Perez. He's retiring from the race then with an engine failure, as you can see, and he's coming back towards the racing line, so people going offline to go around him as we come into the pit lane to change on to the intermediate tyres on lap 5. Hopefully this is the right call, as it should be, because it looks a lot less wet out there and there's a lot less grip out there, meaning hopefully this is the right call. We come out in 20th place, which will soon become 19th as we go past Perez, who has DNF there at turn 1. So then looking into lap 6, and everyone is still on the wets. We've overtaken Ocon and Gasly as they've come in again for the wet compounded tyre, but everyone else continues on the wet compounded tyre. And going on to lap 7, the gap is 15 seconds to the next car. We've gained a lot of time then on the intermediate tyres, and we are setting green sectors as well, but here's a spinning Aston Martin in front. It's Lance Stroll, and is this going to be a red flag or a safety car? Everyone's Yeah, no, this is going to be red flag, and it is. As you can see in the background, everyone's stopped behind, and it's a car park there at turn 2. Gasly gets past, and it is going to be a red flag, as you can see. And, well, that can either be very good or very bad for us then, as we now have an opportunity to get back in the race, but also everyone's going to be on the same tyre as us now, surely, as it will probably dry out a lot more. So yeah, red flag here in the sprint race, and it is going to be intermediates, although it does look quite dry for the rest of the race, the 4 laps that we have remaining in this sprint, and we're going to see what happens then, if it's going to be dry enough, and it is close to being dry enough as we go to 5 red lights once again for the Austrian Grand Prix sprint race, and we are underway once more. We get immediately straight past Bottas for being a lot more punchier than on this second start, as we send it down the inside of multiple cars. We're up into P13 already, with 3 wide going in down straight from turn 1, and we're telling him to box this lap as we think it's too dry, but I don't think we will pit in the end. As we come into the turn 2 braking zone, we have to push Joe all the way to the inside as we want to go down the inside of Albon, but we lose the place to Joe in the end instead, and we continue on. Lap 9 of 12, and it's been a chaotic sprint race so far. Here's the second restart then. It's Verstappen from Alonso, Hamilton, then Norris, and we're going to see how everything goes then. Norris already losing a place down to P6, losing 2 places, and there's us going down the inside in the background, but Verstappen once again having an amazing start and is already streaking ahead of everyone else. From Hamilton, Leclerc, Alonso going down to P4, and he's now trying to challenge Charles Leclerc going into turn 2. Going down the inside then of Zhou Guanyu on lap 10. DRS is enabled now, so we are going to try continue and hopefully make it into the points possibly, although P13 is quite far away from P8, so we're going to have to make up some big progress here. And Albon is up next, our teammate. We're going to see if we can get him on the next lap, because I can't see us overtaking him here. As we come through. Oh no, maybe we will, as he's spinning and our teammate spins right in front of us, and that could be a big accident, but I don't think he's hit anyone, and he is just in the gravel trap. Lap 11, Magnussen's locking up as we get towards them and Piastri, and it's now P10 that's on the cards as Albon spins in front of us for P12, and now Piastri and Magnussen have fought so much that we have caught up to them on lap 11 of 12, and on the last lap we do overtake them, and so we do finish in P10 for the sprint race then, but not much else to say for that sprint race except for very, very chaotic, and we didn't have any replays or anything of the last lap, unfortunately. It did not save, but P10 though, good result, and of course we got qualifying next then, so I'm going to see what we can do. 0 points there, but of course we'll see what we can do during the main qualifying, where it's going to be raining as well.
Here at Spielberg, it's time for qualifying on what will be the fastest laps of the season. Stand by for qualifying at the Austrian Grand Prix.
Here we are then in Q1 for the race this time, and it is nice and sunny for now. As we come out of the pits lane, rain is on its way though, so it depends on how far we get through, I think, in the session. So coming out, and it is sunny and the tyres are warm as we come around the final 2 corners, taking them as fast as possible to get the maximum amount of time gained, and we do go off track there, but it's P3 on the medium tyre in Q1, and that's a good start to lap for Q1, and that will be enough to get us through to Q2. So yeah, that's good. However, our teammate did not set a good enough lap time, and he is out along with Gasly, Magnussen, Zhou and Valtteri Bottas. So then moving into Q2, and it's a little bit more overcast, you can see by the clouds in the background, and we're here to start a lap time, and probably going off the track there, but it doesn't matter as we come towards to start our lap time now, and the sun's just peeking through the clouds, and almost spinning out of turn 1, taking too much curb on the inside, but where does that put us overall? It puts us P6 on the medium on the soft tyres even in Q2, behind Ocon, and Russell, but ahead of Sonoda. And by the end of it, it is raining, so we didn't go back out. And it was enough for P9, with Carlos Sainz being taken out in Q2 here in Austria for the race. So Carlos Sainz out in Q2. You just get through, and in Q3 now, as you can see, the rain is here, and it is pouring. It is only intermediates at the moment, though, and so hopefully it stays like this. Because you saw in the sprint race, wet tyres not good. But we're starting our lap time now, and hopefully it's good enough for somewhere around the middle, because I'm not sure that intermediates is going to go very well for us. I'm better in the dry conditions. As we come around to finish the lap time, it is the worst lap time of them all, only by a tenth though of a second behind Ocon in P7. But yeah, no one else is going to put in a worse lap time, I don't think, and they don't by the time we come out of the pits for the second lap. Rain is not coming down either though here in Austria, so as we start our second lap, we are gaining already, but that is some good use of the overtake button, and we've gained 3 tenths, 4 tenths, 5 tenths, 6 tenths, 7 tenths by the end of the lap. Purple sector 1, where does it put us though? P8. So all that gain, 7 tenths gain, only brings us 2 positions for the race, but we beat Oscar Piastri in the McLaren and Ocon. Fernando Alonso getting pole position here by 0.07 of a second from Lewis Hamilton here in Austria. Hopefully the race is as crazy and chaotic as the sprint race, although no rain this time to interfere with the race. It's time that we get towards the race, but first let's see what this does to our stats. As we look at the pace, we gain 450 and we're still 73 rated on that stat. So then looking towards the race, then it is all sun during the race, so let's
Turn 3. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Fernando Alonso lines up on pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Perez, Russell, Leclerc, Stroll, Norris, Oscar Piastri, Ocon, Sainz, Sonoda, Ricciardo, Hülkenberg, Verstappen, Albon, Gasly, Magnussen, Joe, Bottas, and the rookie. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track. And alongside me here today in the commentary box, Anthony Davidson. I know what we've got to do before the start of today's race, but what about our driver? What do the final hours look like for them?
Well, for them, you've got rituals that you go through. You see different drivers that some have got their headphones on, they're listening to the music. Some drivers really absorb the energy from the crowd and they're there waving to them. Other drivers, they go within themselves, they chat to their engineers, absorbing that information, that vital information that you need to carry you through the race. And, those pre-race rituals are essential to making things systematic. We do a lot of Grand Prix in a season, and the more systematic you can be, the easier you are within that environment.
So then the FIA have given us a double penalty then somehow. One for the sprint race and one for the main race for changing one component in qualifying, in sprint qualifying even. So I don't know why in both races we start from the back. But it is the familiar sight as we saw in the sprint race. It's the two kick Saubers alongside us. And yeah, we're starting on the medium tyre then as we go towards the formation lap. Dry tyres, everyone's happy, and well, it's just a recovery drive I guess from here on now. as we get going then for the formation lap. Medium to hard tyres, unless any safety cars. Of course, we do have soft tyres at 2Us, and yeah, so this is, as I just said, a recovery race really, to see where we can get to from P20 on the grid, coming towards the grid then, and get some last minute weaving done to warm the tyres up. I'm not sure that's going to do anything, but as we come towards our grid slot, it's all sun. We're alongside the Kick Sauber at the back of the grid. It's time to go to 5 red lights for the Austrian Grand Prix here, and it is lights out, and away we go. And it is a good start from everyone ahead. Bottas getting past 2, possibly Magnussen. Verstappen's down here as well. He's got a penalty. We're sending it down the inside of Zhou Guanyu. Is that damage possibly already? I'm not sure. The thing comes up, but I'm not sure that will be very detrimental to our race. We're using overtake. We're going to see what will happen now. Going into turn 2, and it's a big send on 1-2 cars, possibly getting Bottas, no, and getting pinched towards the apex we did, and Zhou goes back through. So we haven't made any progress yet going down the second DRS straight. And are we going to send it going into here? Yes, we are. And we make the apex, and we do get past Zhou Guanyu in the Kick Sauber. So that's us up into P19. Here's the start of the race once more. It's Alonso from Hamilton, Perez, Russell, Leclerc is the top 5. As the lights go out, we're going to see who does get the best getaway. It looks like the Red Bull there. He's already up to P2, and he's on the outside line. He's got the racing line. Fernando Alonso going defensive into turn 1, and he's lost the lead to Sergio Perez. Perez from P4 on the grid has just got overtaken Hamilton, Alonso, and now in the lead going down the inside of turn 2. And will he make the move stick? Yes, he will. Or will he? He's coming back now at Alonso, going down the main straight, well, the second straight, and he's got the inside line now, and surely he'll just squeeze Fernando Alonso out on the exit here, and he does, and he will keep P1. Lap 2 then, and we are in the slipstream of Bottas. We're going to send it down the inside at turn 1. We have a purple last sector, and we continue on our way. DRS now enabled, of course, lap 2, and we're fighting Bottas on exit, and he's still on the inside, but we get rid of him with a little bit of battery use. And now looking at down the inside of 2 cars in the end. And do we make contact with Ricciardo? No, he goes off track to avoid us. We open DRS, and we're in the slipstream of Daniel Ricciardo now. We've made the move past Magnussen. So lap 3, we're in P17, we're sending it down the inside of Ricciardo now, and surely we get the move done this time. As we get the power down, it's not very convincing though. We're using overtake to try get past. We're in the slipstream, we're going to possibly send it, or do we need to? We use overtake and we send it on the brakes all the way around the outside of the RB driver, and we do get P16 on lap 3. Here's lap 6 then, and we're going down the inside of Max Verstappen. It's the exact same move that we just did on Daniel Ricciardo, but do we need the DRS? Yes, we do, and Verstappen doesn't have DRS, so we are going to get past him here going in towards turn 3, and that is us up into P14. But at the front it's Lando Norris. He's come out of nowhere. Where's Alonso gone to? He has fallen all the way down to P5 after leading off pole position, but it's Lando Norris with the DRS, and he's overtaken Sergio Perez, and here comes Hamilton. He's going to send it down the inside of Sergio Perez as well. Lap 14, Perez has retaken the lead, but here comes Hamilton down the inside. He's got the inside line on the Red Bull driver, and is he going to just squeeze him out? We're going to see here going towards the middle sector. Here they go side by side, Perez on the inside, Hamilton having to go the long way round, and it's Norris behind them, just watching, trying to see if he can make up a position here, but it's Sergio Perez keeping the first place position. Lap 16, we're on our way into the pit lane for the hard compound of tyre, and Verstappen, Tsunoda also join us, Ocon and Alonso as well, and as we come in then Leclerc is also in. He has to wait for us as we take our pit stop. It's an alright pit stop. We have to wait though, but it does mean we still get ahead of Red Bull and Max Verstappen. So on the way out here of the pit lane, we've got Ocon in front of us, and hopefully the undercut will work here to get through traffic, or even just get ahead of a few more drivers, warming the tyres up into turn 2. And it's Ocon just ahead of us. We've got a 1.2 second gap, now 1 second gap to behind him. Verstappen, though, he has gained, and he's got a 10th gap behind us as we come into lap 18, down the round the outside even of Esteban Ocon, into P10 as everyone's pitted, and it's terrible traction. And Verstappen now, he's got past Ocon as well. He's got the DRS, and is he going to try overtake us? He's got the slipstream, we don't, but no, we keep the position going in towards turn 3 and continuing into the middle sector. Looking onto lap 18 though, at the end, we've got Piastri and Alonso, who's fallen all the way down to P8. It's really not been a good start. Well, not been a good race for Fernando. We're going to go make a double move all the way around the outside of Oscar Piastri and Fernando Alonso. What a move that was then for us as we make double overtake with the DRS as well. Piastri's got past Alonso, and now Verstappen has as well. So Alonso's gone from P1 and pole position to P11. Lance Stroll's ahead, he's in P6. We've got Piastri and Verstappen behind. Piastri 0.6 and Verstappen 2.2, but he's got the fastest lap. Ahead of us though, and there's a bit of debris there, I think there was, and it's Stroll and Russell side by side in front of us. Who's going to win out of these two? But later on we know, as we're looking to fight Lance Stroll, and they slowed each other so much up by fighting, and now Piastri's all over the back of me as well. We have to go a little bit defensive, but we're going to pushing through Stroll, and we do go down the inside of Stroll. We go all the way off the track though, but keep the position, no illegal overtake, so I'm not giving the position back, and we continue on with DRS. Verstappen sets another fastest lap. We can't see the gap to him now, but he is firmly in this fight now, I think, for P5, and it's Russell and Sainz ahead of us to stop us from getting this positions. Russell going for the overtake on Sainz. He's taking the racing line, so we're going to take the inside line, or are we? No, we think better of it, and we don't want to cause 3-wide collision as we almost spin on exit with the Sainz being so close to us. No one behind us now. Verstappen 1.3 behind, but are these guys holding us up? Russell and Sainz. Sainz getting overtaken. There's contact between the two of us, and now who has the DRS as well? Is it just me, or is it Russell's got the DRS? So we fly past Carlos Sainz, and now is there a gap there to overtake Russell? No, and we continue on with our race. But here's the replay then. Lap 23, getting past Carlos Sainz. He doesn't have DRS, so we just go straight past him. We push him towards the inside a bit, so we have the slipstream of George Russell, and we are up into P6 from P20. Of course, our teammate doing well. He's in P12. Of course, he was eliminated in Q1. So very good drive. Fernando Alonso down to P14. Surely there's an issue with that car or worn engine. But lap 25, we've let George Russell do what he needs to, and he's caught up to his teammate. There's a 1 second gap. 1.2 second gap even, and they're 3 wide ahead, and that's going to invite us all into the fight for the podium here. And we've got the DRS on Russell. Russell doesn't have the DRS on Hamilton because he was too far back on the detection zone, but he will now as we come up towards turn 2. 3 wide, and surely there's contact. Is there damage though? Perez, Hamilton, and our teammate lap 25, he's locked up. But as I was saying, Leclerc, Perez, Hamilton, they're all making too much mistakes as we try lap 27, an audacious move. We go right round the outside, and oh no, there's Charles Leclerc, lap 28. He's locked up and he's lost positions. He's gone down to P6, P5 even, and it's us overtaking. Is that a 3 wide move? It is, and Verstappen's got damage. Verstappen's got damage there, surely. There was an end plate came off, and it is Verstappen's. He's up into P6 though. He's overtaken Hamilton, who's just gone from P4 down to P7 in a few laps. It's lap 28 of 36, and he's now getting overtaken by the McLaren. And Verstappen has damage though, and he's going to try overtake Charles Leclerc though, going into the middle sector. Hamilton going defensive as well, and the Ferrari's going right round the outside on Max Verstappen. Who's going to keep this position? Verstappen on the inside. Surely he just squeezes him out. Yes, he does. Verstappen up to P5. We're in P4 though. And lap 31. Here's the fight for P2. It's Perez, Russell and us. We're going to make it 3 wide. And we're going down. We've got the racing line and we make the move. It's Russell and Perez though. Still side by side. Who's going to get that position? Russell's going to have the DRS. They're both going to have the DRS. We were behind. And lap 34. It's us from Russell from... us, Perez from Russell. Then Norris with a 15-second lead out front. Not much to say, but look at that. Perez is going for a move into the middle sector. we closed the door on him. We put a tyre into the gravel though, and now there is an opportunity for Perez and Red Bull to take the position away from us. Look at the lead that Lando Norris has though. He is flying ahead, but now we just need to keep, it's never about the win here, we just need to keep the position we're currently in, and right now that's all we're doing. Lap 36 of 36. Here comes Perez. We're using battery, but it's not going to be enough, and he's going to send it down the inside. Who's going to get DRS here though? And that will be important. It looks like he's going to get DRS as we get on the power earlier than him, but he's going to have DRS, so he's going to fly straight past us, or is he? We're using the battery going into turn 3, and he does have the move. He's on the inside, and he does take the move. Russell behind us, is he going to have a go? No, we're going to send it right around the outside. There's contact between us, me and Perez, and we almost spin it like our teammate did in the sprint race, but now we have to try we can't give up now. Norris wins the race, but look, it's not over yet. Look at the pace advantage we have through the final 2 corners as we fly through, and they're harvesting battery. Perez is harvesting battery. He's going to use it here. We got the DRS. We're using battery. Who's going to get the position for P2? We get it. We get P2. And what a move it was in the end then. Look at that. P2 on the podium for the Williams of us, of course. And what a race from P20 to P2. Wow.
Smiling faces on the pit wall then after that superb win here in Spielberg, and rightly so. A brilliant effort from the whole team.
They had to be decisive with their overtaking today as they worked their way through the field, and those kind of race victories are so enjoyable because it's not just like winning from the front. They really had to work for it today.
Our winning drivers are on their way to the podium right now. It's been a fantastic race for McLaren, that's for sure. And no doubt, they'll be celebrating tonight.
What a race that was. Here's the replay from the final lap. Perez sending it down the inside of us. He takes a lot of inside curve, to be fair. We do pinch him towards it. And Hamilton down in P20, Alonso down in P19. But none of us have DRS then. So it was purely engine power. If I'd moved it further to the right there, Russell could have came through with the DRS and overtaken both of us. But I don't, and Perez just gets ahead of us there. And look at the move here. We do make contact. You can't see it there. We do make contact, and I'm not sure if I had damage. But overall then, a very good race weekend. We outscore Max Verstappen by a bit. And so, though it does say championship rivalry, I'm pretty sure he's the championship leader. So I don't know why we're trying to fight him, but we're not that many points off him. And look at that, 900 experience, 1,500 racecraft, 700 awareness, 600 pace. And look at all those, that focus, and that's nearly up to 72 rated for next time. That is though 71 racecraft and 69 focus now. We are improving every race by quite a bit, so going back towards our lovely house that we definitely won't be at every race for some reason.
It seems as if you have a new rival.
But it is next time for the British Grand Prix. If you have enjoyed this video, make sure to like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.
Why you belong amongst my very exclusive clientele.
Anyways,
that's a joke.
make sure to like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.